Chapter 4. Sabe waited impatiently while Nissa finished bathing. Since his return he'd thought of nothing else other than getting his hands on her. But after the excitement with Eloise's news, he had to put his needs on hold. Laying back on the bed, brushing large hands through his dark, thick hair, he fixed his attention to the washroom door and sighed. "Are you going to take much longer?" "Almost ready," came Nissa's giggling voice from behind the half-closed door. Nissa emerged moments later, wearing only a delicate covering across her woman's mound. Her blonde, curly hair swept down her shoulders and covered her full breasts. However, with each step towards the bed and to Sabe, the locks moved to reveal peaked nipples. "Oh, my sweet lady." Sabe sat upright. His naked skin glowed in the candlelight as he rose from the bed to greet his wife. "You are a welcome sight." "Did you miss me?" Nissa teased as she twirled a blonde curl around her finger. Her cheeks flushed when her eyes raked down Sabe's body to his proud cock. "I'll take that as a yes." "You have no idea how much I missed you, but you're going to find out presently." Sabe swept Nissa into his arms, causing her to squeal. He marched over to the bed and threw her on top of the covers, then climbed over her. "I thought about you constantly." He kissed her forehead gently before raking his lips down to her cheek. "All I wanted was to smell you." Soft kisses rained across her cheek, then lower to her chin, before moving to her mouth. "To taste you." His lips pressed firmly against hers, and he groaned against her mouth. Sabe's hands interlaced with Nissa as he stretched them above her head without breaking the kiss. The kiss that he'd thought of for the last 6 days. His mind hazed over under the seductive caress of her tongue as it slid into his mouth. Reluctantly breaking the kiss to breathe, he stared into Nissa's excited eyes. "I love you." His husky voice barely managed to break. "I'm lost without you, Nissa." "I like hearing that. I was beginning to feel neglected." "What?" Sabe's brows knitted together. "Why?" Nissa huffed out a long sigh. This wasn't the right time, but since he'd asked, she might as well continue. "I wish I was special." "You are special." He kissed the tip of her nose and smiled. "Why would you think otherwise?" "It seems everyone is announcing secrets lately. I'm just plain and boring." Sabe squeezed her fingers, and she hissed. "What's that for?" "I have no idea where this is coming from, Nissa, but I assure you, plain and boring you are not." She groaned softly when he ground his hips to hers. The feel of his hard cock against her wetness made her shudder. "You are special, Nissa. If you could see what missing you does to me when we're apart, you'd know." He nuzzled his mouth against her ear, letting hot breath flow over her skin. "Every night for the last week I've had to take matters into my own hands as I thought about you." "Really?" "Oh, yes." Sabe nudged her thighs further apart and rocked against her. "I called your name many times." He grinned. "Show me." Sabe's head jerked. "What?" "I want to see what you did." Nissa grinned. "I'd rather not. I'm sure my cock would protest. It has had nothing to eat but my calloused palm. Besides, it's desperate to feel how wet you are." "Please, Sabe?" Nissa's plump lip found its way into her mouth as she stared with widening eyes. Just show me what you did, then I promise you will know how wet I am." Groaning as he released her hands, he leaned back and knelt between her thighs. He watched her eyes follow his hand as it found its way to his cock.